Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show. It is a pleasure, as always, to spend time with you. We know you have a choice, and we're so grateful that you are choosing us today. And I just hope that everything is going well in your world. We want to thank our sponsors before we jump into our amazing guests who are sitting with us today. So a big thank you to Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, also Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, Thin FR, and JoinCapClub.com. We appreciate your support. Go support those local businesses however you can. Speaking of amazing local businesses and people, we are so excited to introduce today's guests. We have Becky McCraney and Kathy Harrison of the Miss Cayces Wonderland with us today. Ladies, thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. We're so excited to be here.
We are really glad to be here.
I'm jumping back in my head to the first time I interviewed you, maybe 23 years ago.
Wow.
I know, a long time ago, when you were there off of, right there by what was Albertsons, and
Yes.
now is United.
Yes.
But it even started before then. Let's start at the beginning. 39 years is what you're celebrating this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a long time.
And we were young.
We were very young.
You still are young.
Yeah,
You still are young, still beautiful. Love the picture that is up there of your opening ribbon cutting day. Go follow them on social media. But tell us how this began, because it truly is a happy place for so many of us here in West Texas.
Well,
Well,
we're sisters.
yes.
So most everybody knows that.
So it began a long, long time ago,
It
even
did.
before the business partnership.
We didn't always get along stellar like most sisters, but we did a lot of crafts together.
Oh, I love that.
We had fun, and we were little entrepreneurs and wanted to use our talents and abilities, and we made burlap flowers with the pipe cleaners and sold them door to door, and whatever was the latest craft, the holly hobby and the gluing all the little layers of stuff, and our dad helped us cut out little wood crafts, and we painted and we sold at craft events. So we had a little business called Miss Cayce's Collection, and
When
That
you
was
were
our
little?
grandmothers when we were little.
Oh my goodness,
And
I
we'd
didn't
do-
know that.
mhm.
That's precious. I
We'd do
love that.
craft shows, and our parents, what was so great about our parents is Dad had the workshop and liked all of that. We loved to paint. Our mom would let us do it all on the kitchen table or the dining room table. She just encouraged and supported that kind of creativity and crafting. I had a catering business during high school, and I'd go in at 10 o'clock at night saying, hey, I've got to run to the grocery store. I've got to get something for my party tomorrow. And so did that. Kathy worked in for an interior decorator. And
then
so,
a framing shop and an art gallery, and so we had a lot of artistic, it was part of our nature.
Right.
in doing that. And then I was back in Midland and was working for our family business. And I started out working at Green Tree. I opened Green Tree Country Club.
What?
I was the banquet and party manager and did
I
all
did
the
not
menus.
know that.
Yep, did all the menus and everything for them. And I needed the club decorated for the first year of being open. And there was a couple named Pete and Charlene Pettit that put in a Christmas store, Pettit's Christmas Store. So who do you call but the new Christmas store in town?
Right.
And they came out and decorated the club for me. And that was the beginning of Christmas stores starting to come on the scene. And the next year when they came back to Midland, they contacted me. I had since left Green Tree and gone to work in our family business and asked would I come in and sell to the banks and the businesses and everything. And this was when Midland was, really doing well with the oil business and stuff was booming. And I was their outside salesperson.
I love
and
it.
taught me how to decorate. So during the season, I would work for them, still work at the family business. And then the last year that they had been coming from Lubbock and putting the store in here, they were just tired of it. Kids had grown. They said, would you like to buy the store? And thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy and Jim decided to move back to Midland and join the family business that was our dad's. And since we loved doing things together and creating, she went to work that final year with myself, and we managed and ran the store and then bought it from them in January of 1984.
Oh my goodness, that is fantastic.
For a big whopping 25 or 30,000, that was like the biggest amount of money we had ever. And it was just
How did that make you feel? Because I know whenever you put a good chunk of
very
change into a
nervous,
business.
Very nervous.
Well, we bought a van
Yeah.
and a cat in a can animated something that was not very good, and a warehouse full of we don't know what, pick machines, some tables and stuff, but they knew what they needed for it. But what they did help us with was they took us to market.
Oh,
they
nice.
introduced us to the handful at that time of Christmas suppliers. I mean, it really was a handful, and got us started in the business. They came back, would help us set up. Charlene was an amazing bow tire, and so she would come in and tie bows.
So she taught you that magic bow tie that you teach all of us now?
With no wire and the ribbon.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, my
when
goodness.
people, took their bows apart and ironed them
Little
and,
cotton.
and brought them back
Can you
in for us
imagine
to
doing
retie.
that today?
Oh. One of the best things is wired ribbon.
Yes.
It's great. And so that's how we began. And since we'd had Miss Cayce's collections and we were going to do Christmas, we just did Miss Cayce's Christmas store.
I love
And in the beginning, we were open from September through January and then closed. And we moved in and out of a space where HEB is now.
Rented storage. Of course, the store wasn't anything like it is today, and we didn't have the collectible lines and the so much inventory that we have now. So it was a little bit easier to do. We remember one time when we were driving down the road moving some stuff on a flatbed trailer from one warehouse, I guess, to the store that we were going to be in. Things blew off.
Oh, no.
into the
There's just like somebody was on the
highway.
back just flinging them off.
You're like, Christmas is flying out the back of the truck.
So we had to pull over and regather all that stuff. So it's been a huge process. So before we were in the store that you talked about on Wadley and Midland Drive, we were where HEB is. There
Right,
was,
where Ski Skeller is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was across. There was a little strip shopping center, and we took over and were several years in, I think it had been a...
What was it, Audio Place? And then it was
yeah.
Catfish something. Robbie
that's
Cayce's
right.
was in there.
What did y'all learn during that first year? Because I know the first year of business for anybody is, I mean, it's like just being thrown into the fire. I mean, it's just like left and right. You're learning and growing. What did you learn the first year?
Sink or swim. I mean, hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, we were so blessed to have our family support. At the time, our husbands and our mom and dad, our grandmother, Miss Cayce, who we named it after. I mean, we just had all that family support also that were down there helping unload boxes. We put our kids later on to work, but you had to figure out real quick, are we going to make this work? And if we are, we're in. And I think from that point on, we never looked back.
Did you dream it would be as big as it is today? Back then, looking back at when you were there at HEB, right there in that smaller space.
That is one thing. We've done things kind of by the seat of our pants. So,
always by the seat of our
and
pants.
That's what I love
and
about
we
you
just
too.
grew and grew, and I would say probably the most important thing that we did learn, was marketing yourself and your product and your store and your people, everything. We were never afraid to spend the money on advertising and to use all of the media, which of course back then it was so much simpler. You just had to, take an ad out in the newspaper and put a radio spot together and
maybe run TV.
And now
maybe have a TV spot. And now
y'all are video. I mean, you have videos everywhere and social media.
You have to sing and dance and do the splits at the end of a TikTok thing or something,
Which we have from 10 years ago for National Dance Week that will appear on September the 16th. Watch till the end because Kathy does something.
Okay, I was going to say, please re-release that. So
we're going to.
It's a scary thing.
It's awesome. Our parents are even dancing in it. And my daughter, who is now 25, she choreographed it. And it was something to do with so you think
amazing.
You can dance. Yeah. And our whole crew is in it. So it's long. I can't really shorten it, and there's even an elf in it. So.
Oh, how fun. Speaking of crew, you've had a woman work with you for all of these years. I just saw a post, and she's been a staple. I've seen her every time I walk in, just like I see you too. Let's brag on her a little bit. She's celebrating, what is it, 37, 38 years? 38 years.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't, she didn't live here the entire time, but she would meet us at market and help us do the buying, and she's the most fun, entertaining person you could ever be around. So she was she just brought a lot of laughter to us and was just fun. And then she would come and help us set up the store And then as soon as, we could get her husband back to a church in Midland, then they moved back here. So they've been our pastor and pastor's wife at Crestview for all these years too, and then she's worked for us. So
I love that story. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't really.
And many of the girls we have, Tammy and Linda. We've had ones that are not here with us, but
Charles has
20
worked
years,
35 years.
Yeah, so it's long, long term, and of course we laugh and say, rehires are the best out there, because they love it. They want to work hard. They know what it is to work hard, and they're not afraid of it. Right. And so we really appreciate all the great people that we've had, and people that have worked for us and left and come back to work for us. We
come back in college in the summer. Yes. I see a lot of that happening. That's fantastic.
Had babies and then come back, when their kids are in school. So
what's the key? What is the key to having a good team? Because I think that's something every business owner and entrepreneur aspires to have, is a team that is with you a long time. We're really proud. We have several that have been with us almost from day one, and you don't want to see them go, but when there's opportunities, you also want to see them, them fly and get their dreams too. So what's the key?
I'd say loving on them and supporting them. I mean, Kathy and I love on them. They love back on us. They love and support one another, their friends, and do activities outside of the store. But it's a real team effort. Kathy and I take out the trash, clean the bathrooms if we have to, sweep the floors. We're not asking anyone to do anything we're not willing to do.
That's key.
And we have Altalyn, thanks to Altalyn, we give a golden, what's the brush you clean the toilet with?
Toilet brush.
wand every year because a toilet brush that we spray paint gold. And
That's
she
great.
creates this calendar of when you have to clean the bathrooms and the kitchen. And we know some are better than others. And if you want to pay someone else to do your week, but no one gets out of cleaning that. And so I think you
love
see
that.
a designer in there cleaning up the kitchen. You see someone that's at the register, somebody that's back in the warehouse. Everyone gets an opportunity to participate.
Well, I like that. Participate. That makes it sound like you want to do it.
Exactly.
Not always,
Well,
but
Altalyn has
I
that.
love that.
She's a pod popper and has that ability and skill of,
To make
of
it
doing
fun.
that, to make it fun. Yes, and but it's a culture. I think people talk about drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's something that kind of gets under your skin, and in a lot of ways, good and bad, but we've had a lot of people tell us, oh, if I could just only come back to work for y'all, it was like the best. And they get a chance to be creative and to be, put their skills to work too, and we just love the ones that are just great salespeople, because that's a skill all its own.
absolutely.
It's just I think it'd be the culture and the environment and in being a Christian. We are a Christian-based company, and I think that we and Altalyn will tell them, look, there's people out there that are in very bad circumstances. Look how good we've got it. We don't have anything to be upset about, and we're not going to fuss or belittle other people for those things. We try not to get into any. If you get into drama, you're gone.
That is a good rule.
Yes.
That is a great rule, Kathy.
We don't like drama.
And I could not agree more, because I think when you leave the drama out of it, and when you walk in, you truly have created the happy place. You know
Right,
that. I
yeah.
mean, and I feel like your team members feel the same way, right? I mean, because it starts from the top, right? From you two, you share that joy. It trickles down, and when you walk in, you can't help but just feel happiness when you hear the music and you see the cookies and there's the Coke there, and and then you just see the lights. I mean, it truly does fill your heart. Do you two still get that same feeling we all get when we walk in? Do you still get that feeling?
We might need a vacation.
Yes, yes and no.
Because you've been working really hard for the big reveal that's happening this week.
Yes,
and we do have to remind ourselves of that too. And that Altalyn even gave the little speech this morning. This is people's happy place, and so we're going to do everything we can to make this a happy experience. From the time they walk into the door to the time they're checking out with their purchases. So.
She does a good job of being that rah-rah person. We had a little issue if you're online and trying to do something. We've had some little glitches and hitches and stuff going on.
Technology.
And
I hear you.
You
I
know,
it's
and,
tough.
and it's just, it's sometimes unforgiving, but she just looked at him and said, there's not anything we can't take care of.
Right.
We're their happy place, and we're going to say yes to everything we can possibly say yes to. So when you have a leader that's instilling that in new people and people that are part of the team, that just helps your culture, just what you said.
Can I borrow Altalyn? Can she just come over for a week?
You know, she's an amazing person.
She sounds amazing, just like you too. She really does.
Should be a great interview.
Hey, she would be. We need to do that.
Yes.
We do something called Quote of the Day. I'm a big quote girl. Y'all have known me a long time, and I feel like you can never get enough inspiration and positivity, and we want to share lots of joy here at the Krista Escamilla Show. So feel free. Kathy, we'll let you pick the first card, and then Becky, you can pick from the one coming up. Ooh, what does it say?
So read this. Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out. John Wooden. Oh, I like that.
That's a good quote. What does that mean to y'all?
Things work out the best for those who make the best of how things work out.
And look, they got the friendly card.
Wow.
Because is there anybody more friendly than Becky and
Yeah.
Kathy?
Wow.
No.
Well, that
love
is
that.
truly, I mean, today, just for example, you make all these plans, you have these great ideas, you want to celebrate and do all this, and then something in an app won't let you do it.
Right.
And my girl responded back to me, it's time for a cheers to 39 years. We got to figure out how to work
Where's
through
the
it.
alcohol?
We
Hence
did.
the cheers
That's
part.
the-
Hence the cheers.
No, but I think you have to have that.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. You do. You have to look at everything as a glass half full rather than empty, especially as a business owner. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, there's a meme out there about the day in the life of an entrepreneur or a business owner, and it's like, you're down here, you're up here, you're down here, you're down here.
Well, and somebody said, it's also about like an entrepreneur you throw a bunch of balls up in the air, and the one you catch is the one you work on. The others go scattering, rolling off here and there and everywhere, no matter what was important and not is important. So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with a business, with a retail business. Your day doesn't always go like it was planned. You may be really busy and you're expected to be out on the floor. You may
Yes.
have to you sold through something, you've got to go find, and replay. I mean, it's just, it doesn't always work out with your to-do list.
Right.
Becky's really good at making to-do lists. I don't, I make the to-do list and then forget it at home generally.
I make her to-do
She
lists.
does.
This sounds like my husband and I.
Yeah.
I'm a to-do list girl too. Yes, I get it. I get the
I
fellow
love it.
to-do list girls. I understand that, but I also understand when you throw that ball up, sometimes it's the best ball you ever threw up, right?
Yeah,
what was
true.
the best ball y'all ever threw up in the air that really took on and took off?
Wow. I think the opportunity that we got to decorate the state capitol with
Yes.
the
Oh, that's
Craddock's
cool.
being here in Midland, and that was such an honor. And my son will say that Nadine Craddock was the First Lady of Texas. He saw her at work at the Capitol. We took him with us, and we got to decorate. She raised all the funds outside of tax dollars to refurbish the speaker's quarters with all the original, as much as she could, furniture, books, the library, and everything for the state of Texas. And it was really a lot under the radar. But then inviting us to come in and participate and decorate, the notoriety that we got. I mean, it was like being football champions in the grocery store.
Going to the state
That's so
championship or
cool.
whatever. It was very cool, and a lot of people didn't realize. She would, she worked with companies to raise the money to pay for the product. We donated our time, and then she had a charity that the people who had raised the money for, they could, or sponsored it, then they could donate it to them. So they could have, so the product went on, and then she started over the next year. So every year for 6 years that we did it, that product changed on the Christmas tree. So people would come to see it, and
That
because
was
it was
smart.
it was new
Yeah.
and different every year, and it was a win-win on so many levels. They got the exposure and the media
we got to do the
attention.
press conference. HEB had sponsored the tree, and then the company that sponsored to pay for the products, and we gave our time, they picked that charity, then that charity got it, then they could auction it off. In the first year, because
Or
it just
decorate
started.
their headquarters with it, whatever.
Right.
Well,
So
we donated it to the museum, and
that's right.
they auctioned it off, and David Arrington bought it and then gave it back to the museum. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
it was just this win-win all the way around in
love it.
raising funds and awareness for us, for the charity, for HEB, for everything. So that's probably one of the coolest things that put us on the map,
I love that.
I would say.
That's fantastic. What advice? Oh, actually, I need to ask you both your quotes. What are your favorite quotes that you live by?
Oh
man.
gosh, I've got so many. One is there's always a reason to celebrate and decorate, a little or a lot. We like for people to come in that have a big pocketbook or a small pocketbook. But there's little things that you can do at your home that make you happy, that
Yes.
that you have a smile on your face. I love to decorate my front porch. It's time. I'm just going to give up on the weather. I'm just going to get the Halloween or fall out. I think I'm going to start with
Right.
fall, because I watch people walk by my house and they know I live there. They always turn and look at the door. But
They want to see what's on the front, because you do the amazing door hangers are
The
so
door
beautiful
decor,
that y'all do. Yes.
do our pots, and so I want people to decorate their homes. They'll enjoy it. Their kids will enjoy it. Their grandkids will absolutely love it. And those are the things we remember from our grandmother and how she made things special for the family celebrations and stuff.
I love that.
Well, I don't know that this is, but one of the quotes that we have lived by too, we just say, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Good or bad, it is what it is.
what it is.
Make the best of it. And I think that was kind of like John Wooden's, just deal with it the best way you can and make the best of it.
Yeah, I love that, because you have to be able to go with the flow as a business owner. What if you could give 3 tips to someone that is starting a business right now, and they've never, in whether it's retail, it could be anything, but retail, of course, is your space. So what advice would you give to them that they could do instantly that would maybe save them a little bit of a headache?
I want to tell them to research it and go talk to people and everything. We didn't do any of that. We decided we did something we loved. I would tell them, pick something you love, and then you've got to commit to it. And if you can get to 5 years, you can pretty much make it. You see so many businesses fail within the first 5 years, and for lots of different reasons. And
Right.
sometimes it can be out of your control. I mean, we talked about COVID earlier. What that did to us, what we're still, the consequences or the side effects or whatever it is that have come along with that have been big changes.
And there's been
But-
some good and some bad.
Absolutely.
One good I know for y'all was the website.
Yes.
Being able to transition and have a stronger website.
Yes.
That was probably a pro for a lot of people through COVID.
Definitely.
But there was a lot of transition. Yeah. What about you? Do you have 1 tip or 2 tips or 3 tips, as many as you want to give, that you think would save someone a big headache if they're starting a business right now?
Well, I think what she said, pray about it. You need to be where God wants you to be, and where He has. You talked about your transition from the news station to doing this more full time. He has a plan for your life, for our lives, and
Absolutely.
I think that's, you want to be there. And then He's given us abilities, strengths, and talents and passions. And I think that has a lot to do with what we're called to do and what we're supposed to do. And if you're doing what you're passionate about, it never feels like work.
It's true.
So, and I think, like Becky said, research and see if you're meeting a need.
Right.
What's a need and how can I fill that?
Right. And y'all have filled a happiness need, because I think when you think of walking into your store, you're filled with joy, whether you're able to spend $100 that day or $1,000 that day. There is a happiness that comes from any item that is in your store. How do you all pick those amazing items?
It takes a lot of work, but we work really well together, and instinctively over the years you've learned and you start putting things together. I think one of the things that brings us some of the most joy is we will have customers tell us later, you didn't know it, but I just lost my husband. And every week I would come by the store and just kind of get in a corner because I could feel good. Your team would treat me right, and it just gave me a lift. Or we come into Midland because we're having to
That
have
makes me want to
I
cry.
know.
cancer treatments, and the treat is to come by Miss Cayce's and have a cookie and a Coke. I mean, we don't even know all the people that we've touched, and we appreciate the fact that they share it with us, because then you know that you are doing good work. And you're enjoying it. And we had an art teacher. We both had the same teacher in high school, and he was always so mad at us because we weren't painting. Kathy's a phenomenal painter, and I'm a fairly good painter. But I told him, I said, Mr. Cooper, the Christmas trees are our canvas. We are unleashing our creative abilities here rather than painting on a canvas.
Right. We'll
And
take that, Mr.
true,
Cooper.
Yes.
Well, and I think, like Becky said, being a place that you can escape to
Yes.
and lose yourself in and enjoy and whether you spend any money or not, and I know that's hard if you don't have a lot of expendable income to go in. I don't shop a lot of times when I feel like I don't need to be shopping because I
Right.
don't need to spend the money, but I love to be inspired.
Yes.
So I love going places where I can be inspired, and and think about what ifs and when I can, do these things. This is how I would do it. So.
And that's what it does for me when I walk in, because I am not crafty. I've told you all this before. You've helped me learn how to make the bows and to put the, let me get it right, floral,
Yes.
balls, and bows.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I got it. Yeah.
Yes.
You got to have those three things and you'll have an amazing tree, even if you
Absolutely.
can't decorate like me. And I can go in there and just be inspired and just really see the beauty that y'all have created. And that
Well, so
is
much of
just
design is a pattern, and if you can follow a pattern, then you can design it. It's
Yes.
not, it even in paint by number or in art,
true. That's true.
and you break down even a portrait of somebody, there is patterns
Pattern.
that you can follow, and so that's what we try to do is give people a pattern that they can follow, and then they can be their own designer.
Where were y'all when I was in art class in high school? Because I didn't get that memo
Yeah,
that there's
yeah,
a pattern, and like everything's a little off on all my artwork. But I love that. That's the beauty of what you do, is that you teach people. You're not just selling them the items. You also teach them how to do
What
it
to do
and
with
what to
it.
do,
And
because
they can keep going. It's all about layering. They can start with that basic pattern,
Mm-hmm.
and then as they get comfortable, they can keep layering on more, and get to the because it doesn't start out the way it looks when you come in the store and you see
Right.
that creation. It started with just a basic tree, then your ribbon, balls, and floral.
Yes, I got it. See, it took 23 years,
Yes.
but I got it now. I want to ask you, this is an important question because I think it's something that many of us either think of at some point or maybe as we're, we're just growing older, we start to think it, probably because I didn't think about it in my 20s, but think about it now. And that is, what do you want your legacy to be when people think of Miss Cayce's Wonderland?
Well, the public probably sees a different legacy than, say, what our families see. And I haven't realized until more recently, with my youngest being 25 and getting married, and she's sharing some memories and stuff that her and my husband did when we were up working late or not at Thanksgiving at the time we wanted to plan it. And so our families have sacrificed a lot, but I think they also have enjoyed it a lot, and they've all been able to work for us. I think that our kids will tell you that they have seen the entrepreneurial, the hard work, the hard effort pay off, and I think we have inspired them in many ways. I do think I can speak for myself. I neglected my family at times and put Miss Cayce's first, and that's having a balance, being a mom, working full time. It's a challenge. It really is. And it's something, in talking with people and starting a business, it's something you really need to consider. How much time are you going to devote?
Absolutely.
And like Becky said, we did sacrifice. I mean, there were some of the biggest fusses I had with my husband was he'd be home and fix dinner and have picked up the kids and everything.
Which that's great.
And I know, no, but I would get tied up with a customer right at the end, and I would have said I'm going to be home by 6:30 or whatever, and I was, and I was tied up, and then I'd get home late. And he would be furious with me. But
is he one of those? Because if I'm cooking, I want the food to be hot when you eat it.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
I was trying to think. Yeah, I could see where. Yeah, I understand that.
But he has mellowed so much over the
gosh.
years. He is really a whole podcast of its own.
Well, I was going to say both your husbands are so supportive,
They
and I
are.
just love. And you can always see them in there too. I mean, like I'll pop in and out, and on any given day, I'm going to see one of y'all there.
Yes.
I mean, and I love that you still have the heart for it and love for it, and it's not like you've to your own business. And I love that you have kept that passion going for all these years.
Yeah,
I think
that we
it's amazing.
couldn't work as hard as we do if you didn't have that. Now
Right.
but even with the kids, I think they have grown up with a very healthy respect for hard work, and they have my girls especially. They have stayed involved with it, and they do a lot of decorating for people in their homes, and they come and help us get the store set up and everything. My son, on the other hand, when he got married, his wife thought, we can take over Miss Cayce's for your mother. And he said,
No.
not only no, but hell no. And if that's a thing with you, this could be a deal breaker.
If that's what you were thinking, it's
he
going to
went
happen.
on to be in the oil business and doing real estate things, and he was not called. It was not his passion.
Did any of them decide to follow the entrepreneurial spirit? Any of the kids, grandkids, do you see any of them following in that footstep?
Well, Josh,
Yes,
for one,
yeah.
yes, and
I mean, he's extremely entrepreneurial for sure.
my oldest owns his own CrossFit gym, and he and his wife now have a podcast.
Oh, awesome.
And it's pretty awesome. She's Rebecca Fuselier McCraney. She's one of the top 30 women in the world in CrossFit.
Oh,
and
wow.
so I've had fun watching and listening to their podcast and stuff. My daughter has had a yoga business at one time. The son here's in the oil and gas business, and the other two are somewhat entrepreneurial, but young enough that they're kind of working their thing.
They definitely all picked up the hard work
Yes.
that you both have taught them, and
Yes.
by example, because it really is.
None of them are coming back into the business, so to speak. Like I said, the girls are in their own way in decorating
Right.
for other people, but they've been a real blessing to the support. We couldn't have done it, without them. So.
Right.
Our
I love
husbands.
that. We do something called Question of the Day, and we're sitting here today in Midland, Texas with the most down-to-earth, amazing sisters. I mean, you two really are. Becky McCraney and Kathy Harrison have really inspired me as a business owner through the years, and I've loved what you two have created with Miss Cayce's Wonderland. And I have a big question, and I'm going to let's see, Kathy, you pick the last one. So, Becky, you get this one. You just pick it out and read it, and then we'll answer it.
What daily habit do you do that has made a positive impact on your life?
Ooh, I look forward to hearing this
Spirited.
one. Spirited, yes, I love that. See, these cards always just correlate with our guests. I love that. You guys got the friendly and spirited cards.
During COVID, there's someone my husband follows, John Eldridge, who wrote Wild at Heart and has a huge men's ministry. And he saw something happening post-COVID of people just falling out of the ministry. People stopped working out. They stopped doing all the stuff that they'd always done. I mean, they were just in this kind of dead zone. And he created an app called the Pause app, just spelled Pause.
Okay.
And it's a 10-minute in the morning. It's 30 days, and then I start it over, and it goes through the spiritual side of things, your intellectual. It has been the most rewarding thing that I have consistently listened to every morning to get your mindset.
I love it.
And sometimes I need to listen to it 3 or 4 times.
We've all been
when-
there. We
when-
understand,
when
Becky.
stuff
Yeah.
happens, but that has truly become a habit because it
that.
has made such an impact on my life, and I've shared it with a lot of people.
The Pause app.
Pause app.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well,
great daily habit. Kathy?
Trying to start your day out, on a spiritual footing, and I listen to a guy named Dutch Sheets who does a Give Him 15 every morning during the week. It's mostly weekdays. And it started out during the election process back in 2016 about praying for our America and that America will be saved. And that has been a huge impact on my life, just to pray for our leadership, pray for our country, pray for it to come back to its founding roots and what we, all the Judeo-Christian biblical principles that we were founded on, and how far we have strayed from that. And we're reaping lots of horrible repercussions from that. So anyway, that has made a lot of difference in my life and my perspective of things.
And you both do those daily. And I think that's important, because I think a lot of people, they see y'all are very cheery and happy, and we all have those days that are tough to get out of bed, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think anyone, is ever just like, dude, here we go, every single day.
No.
Right? We all have those days.
I have to drink my Spark first.
Hey, me too. Yes. Every morning I put my collagen in my Spark, and
That's
then
right.
I feel like I smile bigger after my Spark,
That's
don't
right.
you?
You do.
Yep.
I
do too.
I know she does.
And this is not a paid advertisement by
No,
Advocare, but if you
but
want
you
to,
want to.
pay, just kidding, Advocare.
Call
no,
my
really.
son-in-law.
Yeah, let us know. But I'm with you. There's something about that Spark. You just pour it in there and you're a little bit happier. But I think it's important to have those daily habits,
Yes.
right? Something that is positive and that keeps you going, because not every day, as much as I want it to be, is sunshine and rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. It's just not
Right.
always. Is there anything else that y'all do on those days where you're just, struggling a little bit more, that kind of really gets you going?
Well, I ask my husband to pray for me.
I
I mean,
love
sometimes
that.
I don't go into the details, but I'll climb up and I'll just say, I've got to have some prayer. I need a prayer covering.
that.
Or I have a niece that I can do off a quick text to that I need prayers. And we have a family text. I know y'all have a family text that we have with my husband and I and our kids.
Yes.
And I think that's something too that we'll share a lot in there and pray for one another. And so that's the best thing I can do, and not wallow in it.
Right. That's a good point. Don't wallow in it. Yes. I love that. How about you,
Yeah.
Kathy?
Well,
Anything?
I think it just goes back to that. Some things just are what they are. It is what it is.
what it
and,
is.
and you just got to buck up and, put your big girl panties on, or pull on, and get going. I
Gotcha.
mean, no matter what or how you feel. Now, I could do a lot of things like exercise, some things that I hope I can get back to soon with some kind of a routine. But I think the spiritual side of things and
Really
praying for
helps.
each other and
We pray over the store.
do.
We walk around it and pray over it.
I love that.
Before we opened, Mark and I went up there and walked around and prayed over the store, over our team members, over our customers, over our vendors, over people we do business with. I think we all need that.
Yes.
Something our dad used to say. Our dad was a man of few words, and he would get very emotional. He was an engineer. Very sentimental. But when I was going through a really difficult time and was living with them, and it was a horrible time, and he came up and he hugged me and he said, well, it could be worse.
It can always
It
be
can
worse.
always be worse.
Yes,
And I'm
that's
thinking,
true.
gosh, Dad. that was but
But it's true.
it's true.
That
And
is
it's
true.
like, look at where you are. We just went to a family friend's funeral and saw some people and saw some situations and heard some stuff that I called Mark and I said, slap me today if I come home and complain about anything.
Yeah.
Because we have nothing to complain about. It always could be worse.
That's
and
right.
so that finding the good in it, and that I have a shirt that says it's a good day to be a good day.
I love it.
Yeah.
Go
I love
after it.
I love it. And that's so true. I can't remember what the book was or if it was a podcast I was just reading, but it said, really, if you can not complain for 30 days, it will change your life.
I bet that's true.
And I mean, I'd like
Or
to
to
try
be
it.
grateful
I'm
and
only
think
like
of-
day
yeah.
one in, and I think I already complained, so I'm probably gonna have to start over tomorrow. But it's really true. If you can really, take that word out, that complaining out, and just really focus on the blessings and the gratefulness and the gifts, it can really change your whole outlook. That and some spark.
Yeah,
It'll
that right.
change your whole
Exactly. You're
outlook.
exactly right.
I want to ask you guys, I'm sure, have so many funny memories. Is there a funny time that you can think of where you were decorating a tree? Or, I mean, because I know I probably knocked over the tree 100 times. I mean, like, is there some memory that really sticks out that you go, okay, that was a funny moment in our Miss Cayce's life?
Well, because we're doing a podcast, and when all this stuff started happening where you were videoing and you were showing what you were doing, and we had our new website, and this has been years ago.
Right.
As everything was getting going and you had to set up, everything. My husband was helping me set up the tree, and I was going through the process of setting it up, telling how you did it, videoing it. And I had a guy who actually lived in Massachusetts that was monitoring it and paying attention to it, and it wasn't live, but it was.
Okay.
And it had just had a new baby, and so he wasn't paying close enough attention. So my husband starts teasing me about what his benefit's going to be from him helping set up the Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
And that's all on audio and video. and all of a sudden I look, and my guy is messaging me, sorry about that, Becky. I know you probably didn't mean for that to go out to the whole world. I'm like, no, not really,
No, didn't think that was didn't think it was picking up him and his little
No,
comments over there in the corner.
No, so that was kind of a funny moment.
That's funny.
Do you remember the time that we took Michelle, who had never been away from her family, to market?
yes.
We've taken a lot of women to market who have never traveled or been in a hotel
Okay.
by themselves.
Oh, okay.
With other women.
Right.
And
Like for a girls' trip. Right. Right.
And then, which we're sisters, but, we don't mind sleeping together if we have to. And the other girls that go with us, it's, you're kind of packed into some small spaces.
Big
but-
slumber party.
Yeah, you can fit 4 people in a room, sometimes 5, maybe 6.
Yeah.
But she called home to check on her family, and all you could hear her was saying, "She did what? You did what? What would you do that for?" Whoa, and she's just going crazy. And when she gets on the phone, I think that the daughter had ate a whole box or a whole package of Oreos.
Oh my goodness.
Then she had gotten sick, and she'd thrown up, and then he had tried to vacuum.
Oh no, he tried to vacuum the throw up.
Yes, the Oreo throw up. So can you imagine? I mean, we have laughed about
my
that.
gosh.
That was a
That's
funny. And that's the thing that's been great too, is we have been able to take a lot of women and men to market and expose them to a whole new world of adventure and fun, and eat at some great restaurants, and do some things that maybe they weren't getting to do or weren't going to do, on their own. So that's been a real treat to get to do that.
I love that.
If somebody would follow us around with a camera at market and sit and listen, or not at market, but at the store,
Right.
and so if we could have been a huge reality show.
It sounds like
Yeah,
it.
Women
Yeah.
of Christmas.
In our and
I love this idea, actually. Like, now my wheels are turning. I'm like, someone needs to turn this into a
we
reality
wanted to do
show.
we wanted to do this deal where people turned in, their friends with ugly trees and got a chance to.
I'm afraid mine might be there, but
to win, a whole redecorating for them.
Oh,
I
my
thought that could
gosh.
have been fun.
that could have
Yeah.
been fun. That actually really would be fun, because I've had some of those years where I just look at it and go, "Oh, that's bad. I really need Becky and Kathy in my house right now." Well, I know we're getting close to the end, and I don't want this to end, but I know you. I'm so grateful for your time, and so I know you have things that you have to go do. I really want to talk about the big reveal, because everybody looks forward to this every year to see what's new, because you change it up every single year, and that's the beauty, and that's why you should go several times a year, not just once a year, but several times, to see what new things. What can we expect this year?
It's an experience, and when you look up, you got to look up, you got to look down, you got to look sideways. But when you look up, think of Jim Harrison, Kathy's husband, because he has been and she has been on that man lift, hanging stuff from the rafters, literally.
He puts it up there. He's the one that's going up there.
He will do it. He doesn't like it, and he was like, we got it pushed out to reach to something, and so it goes up to like 25 feet, and then the little thing will slide out so you can get out on the end. I'm not scared at all, and I climb up there, but he was out there, and I started coming. Don't come out here. Don't come out here. It's only 250 pounds or something, and that's both of us. And so
That's funny.
I know. So he was like, "Get back over there."
Yeah.
But he will get up there and do what needs to be done.
But Halloween is super fun. If you're into fun Halloween. We don't have frightening Halloween. Colorful, neon, bright skeletons, spiders, just amazing, fun things to do. Kind of any color combination you want, and pink.
Lots of pink.
I love. I can't wait. That's my favorite color.
It's amazing. There's a tree that Kathy finished up last week, which was one of the last ones, which is pink poinsettia, and it's hot pink and red, and it is
Gorgeous.
just.
But of course, it's got a little bit of botanical. It's just fresh and pretty looking. I think everybody will enjoy it.
And last year, one of the most popular trees, which I think will be again this year, was the Radco tree, which has the old icicles on it and all the old reflector lights and everything. And I mean, it looks like something you think about your grandmother's house maybe having in it. And when you can get people to get back into their memory as kids and ways they celebrated, that just brings them so much joy. And that's probably one of the biggest benefits to what we do is people either go back in their memories or they start creating new memories with their family and stuff. And you've been in business a long time when people that sat on Santa's lap are now bringing their kids back to sit on Santa's lap.
I love that.
And everything. But the reveal is Friday. We open at 10 a.m. and now we're open every day, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, Sunday 2 to 5. Come in and just experience Miss Cayce's.
Yeah.
Don't leave your husband at home. Husbands, don't leave your wife at home. If you can get the kids, bribe them with the chocolate chip cookie and a drink. But it's a fun outing to experience. And the amount of time that we go into and our team goes into, we want as many people as possible to see it and enjoy it.
Well, and I think they will, and I love that because it really is an experience. It's
Yes.
and if you're not a shopper, and I get it because I'm not a big shopper, but I will go in there and just experience it and look at everything, and you feel the joy, and you don't want to leave because you are so filled with the Spirit when you leave. When you do have to go check out and write that check,
Right.
but you are so filled with the Spirit, and you feel that happiness, and then it carries over to the decorating. If you could give a tip to someone who is like me, a non-decorator, on one thing that they could do to really, maybe take something that you've incorporated this year, what would that be that will really help kind of bring that old decoration to life and by adding that something new?
Is it something they already have and doing something new
They may
with
just
it?
add one thing to it, two things, just something. I think that's the struggle for a lot of us non-decorators is we think, okay, we have some stuff.
Right.
How do we make this look good and make it look new?
Usually people don't have enough of what they need.
That's true.
They're comfortable buying ornaments, so they keep buying little ornaments about the same size, and they want to cover the whole tree, and then wonder, well, it doesn't seem to have any depth or spark or pizzazz.
Right.
But again, the ribbon, balls, and floral, and if you can just do one of those at a time, add your ribbon to coordinate with the decor you have in your home, but also with the feel you're trying to get with your
Right.
Christmas decorations. I always say, your home has a personality. The way you entertain and celebrate with your family, that has a style to it.
Yeah.
So embrace that and make that happen.
Right.
And I'd say ribbon is probably
Ribbon's
the
probably the
biggest
best
thing.
place to start, and with the quality that ribbon is now, and some of it gets very expensive, but there's some well-priced things, and we try to really carry a variety. But with the wire in it, it's so reusable, and that's something that's a great investment. The ribbon balls and florals, the balls make a huge impact. On our website, when you click to the bottom, there's a place about how to decorate your tree, and we tell you the steps and show you the steps on there of how to do it. But get started somewhere. Pick out a spot in your home that you enjoy and see every day, and just transition it out between season to celebration to holiday. We carry a line called Cotton Colors Happy Everything.
Yes, I love that.
It's a big plate, and it has Velcro on it. and you
Entertainment
can-
wear.
Entertainment wear. You change it out for the season. And so when I decide if I'm going to do fall or Halloween first, I will change out my attachment on there. I had a taco party for a young couple getting married. I had my sombrero hat and my taco attachment on my round top stuff. So I have that on my entry table. And if I don't decorate anything else,
You did that.
that's going to have something on it. My grandkids know to come and look there.
And do it for yourself. I'm kind of bad sometimes about, thinking, oh, I'm not having a party, or the kids it's not my year to have this or that.
Right.
And so I'm not going to go all out. I'm not going to do that much. But you still, like Becky said, pick that small area or that area that you can do it for yourself.
I love that. I
and
agree.
then one thing before we do go, I just want to really invite people to shop local, to
Yes.
really support their
Yes.
local. We would not be here 39 years if the people of Midland and the Permian Basin had not shopped with us.
That's so
So
good.
as easy as it is to buy online, and as easy it is to, go to the big cities or something to shop and say it came from there or whatever,
Right.
just remember that your local economy really needs you to shop local.
And when you shop local, I've seen, I'm sure you've seen this sign before too. When you shop local, you're supporting someone's family. You're paying for soccer.
Exactly.
You're paying for baseball. You're paying for, you're supporting that family. And I could not agree more. I mean, shopping local truly is the best way to really show community spirit. If you can't, not all of us can make a big $5,000 donation or $10,000 donation, but you can shop local.
Local,
And
right.
you're helping
It
a
is-
local family,
yes.
which
well,
I
and
just love.
And local people, all the people that store employs, and then all your taxes that you pay, the sales tax, it all goes back
Yeah.
into your own, community.
Absolutely.
So it's
On-
important.
On my desk, I have a list of 10 requests for donations, all local groups, schools, organizations, and everything. And we support everything. We try to say yes to everyone. It's not huge dollar amounts, but we
Little.
want to say yes to it. But what I'm asking in return is for them to promote us, for them to get the word out about us, and to ask their people, their groups, their email lists, their families, their whatever, to support the local businesses that are giving these donations for all the silent auctions. Because
love that.
I don't see big box and big name websites donating to those local charities or school organizations or the fundraisers that they need to be. It's always the local shops they come and ask.
Right.
So we're just asking in return, invite your friends to come with you.
Mm-hmm.
Promote us on your social media. One of the best things people can do for their friends and their local businesses
Mm-hmm.
is like and comment on their social media post. You
Yeah.
do not know what that does for the business and what
Couldn't
it
agree
does in
more.
the algorithms
And the
everything.
testimonials
Right.
too about why you like a certain store, why you like a certain restaurant, or
Yes.
when you get good service and everything. And it's easy to complain about things, or it's easy to make a ugly comment, and I'm just like, oh, I hate that when
I
that
know.
happens, because
Make the good ones.
Yes,
Make the good
yes.
ones. That spread. If you're going to spread anything, make it be positive.
Positive.
Spread
Exactly.
positivity. I'm going to check our time. Okay, we still have a few minutes, and then we have got to get. I want to make sure you get to where you need to go. We always do something at the end of the show. A couple of things. We do a quick little favorite things, and so I love that you just said that. So really quick favorite nonprofit organizations, so we can shout those out.
Oh my goodness, I have a new one
I know,
because
so
they're
many.
well, they're going to
Yeah, you can
benefit
do-
this year from our early bird tree. It's Opportunity Tribe.
Okay.
And I was not
Yes.
aware of them. I was aware of Opportunity Camp, but it costs $400 to send a kid to camp. And when he was telling me, and I was looking at the pictures of the kids that have gone through camp, what it does for them in school, and when they start with them in the second grade, they get them reading and all the stuff they do. It's amazing. You can change someone's family tree. And so it's an organization I didn't know anything about, but High Sky Children's Grants, anything that has to do with kids,
Yeah.
we are all about. Absolutely.
Love that.
I'd have to say Teen Challenge has
that's a good one,
meant
too.
a lot to us personally, and we try to get the guys to come out every year and help us with our big trucks of unloading the trees and everything, and it's just so cool to see men trying to change their lives for the
Yeah.
better.
And it's men.
Absolutely.
It's,
It
it's,
is,
it's
yeah.
there's a few teens, but it's men. And right now, if you get on their website, they're having their auction online where you can do things to support them. And there's some amazing stories that come out of that organization.
Great, fantastic. Favorite restaurants? If you're going to eat in Midland, Texas right now, not to say you don't love all of them, because I know you both of y'all do, but what's your favorite you're going to go to right now?
I'd have to say La Bodega.
Okay. Love
Well, I'm torn because I love roses. I mean, our family has grown up on roses. Love Monterey Kitchen.
Jump
We
burrito.
kind of
Oh,
like
jump
Mexican. We
burrito.
like Mexican
You know,
food a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse. I love going in there. There's several things on their
Can
menu.
Grill's
Oh.
a favorite.
I know we could
Can-
go on and on.
I know. That was
That's a
trick
tough
question.
one.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a trick.
This one might be tough too. Favorite coffee shop?
We don't drink coffee.
Oh, no
not a
coffee?
coffee
That's right. We're
drinker.
spark drinkers.
Yeah, and Sonic.
Well,
No. Far West is probably one of my favorites. I've known them since the beginning of them getting started and know their story. Love the vibe of that. Love the
Yes.
local feeling that it has.
Yes.
But I go in there and have them make me something that's not coffee.
Gotcha. Favorite memory in Midland?
Oh,
I know it's a tough
in
one.
Midland. Wow.
I mean, this isn't a single memory, but our sunsets and the sunsets behind the oil derricks.
Yes, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yes,
I know, they're like none other.
And our cityscape.
Yes.
You know, and this I've noticed a picture y'all had out there of downtown, and
Yeah.
you know that's Midland's a special place.
It is.
It really
I
is.
think it's the people of Midland. I've had so many people move here crying. Didn't want to come. My daughter-in-law was one.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to leave. Made such good friends in such a short amount of time. So many people return to Midland. And I just think you don't find any better people anywhere else. And
I agree.
all the local organizations and everything everyone supports. That we have a very generous, giving community. Midland and Odessa both.
Yeah, I can agree more. Favorite book?
Right now, the book I just finished and that I got a whole pack of to give away, I should have brought you one, is Holy Moments by Matthew Kelly.
Okay.
Real quick, easy read.
Love it.
I had some in my car, and I may have one. I might have to go out there and see. And was at the bank and just thought, you know, Mary's always at the commercial teller window. She's always there. She's always got
I'm
a smile.
gonna give her one.
I'm going to give her one. I wrote her a little note on there, handed it to her. She starts crying.
I know.
There's
I'm
something-
like,
there's
that's
something
amazing.
going
I
on
love
in her
that.
life that I had no idea God used that. So the book had an impact on me. So then I think when you can share the book with other people, those are the best books. And this is an
Absolutely.
easy read. This isn't. I read some great books over the summer that people promoted to me, that were some romantic, wonderful books. But this truly is a life changer.
And what a God wink to her.
Oh, absolutely.
love that.
Yes.
Love that.
I'm a wannabe reader, and I'll get all the books and read the first few pages and lay them on, stack on my side of my bed.
I have many of those
You
too,
know,
Kathy.
yes,
I understand. I'm like, I'm going to read that whole
yes,
book someday.
I know, and I want to buy them all when I've heard somebody interviewed and everything.
Yes.
So that's not. But I'll say this is not a book, but watching The Chosen.
Oh, yes.
So good.
I mean, my son-in-law laughed because I'm always asking everybody, "Have you watched The Chosen? Have you done The Chosen?" I mean, it has been
That's awesome.
so cool. I just think it has brought the Bible
Yes.
and the Jesus in their lives,
Which is the greatest book of all time.
Exactly.
So there you go. You
So
got your
It was
favorite
on the
book in
Bible.
there.
There you go.
Oh, we're
yeah.
running out of time. Al's giving me the sign. We
Sorry.
got okay. Favorite. This is going to be an easy one. Favorite holiday.
I like Thanksgiving.
Well, I love Christmas, but I love Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
My
she's a
birthday's February
Valentine's, yeah.
12th, and I
Aw.
love to throw my own party and decorate it all for Valentine's Day. I love old-timey antique Valentines, but really all the
I love it.
holidays.
Yeah,
Just find that reason
yeah.
to celebrate and decorate.
Celebrate it all. Celebrate it all. Ladies, I cannot tell you what a gift it has been to share this time with you. I wish we had more time because I have so many more questions. I want to say, first of all, congratulations for 39 amazing years in business.
Thank
But
you.
what I hope that all of you got to see today and really hear is their heart. And their heart for our community is like none other. When they say that they give to everyone, I mean, their hearts are there and they are always like this. And you are always there to pick up the phone, answer a question whenever a fellow businesswoman will call and ask, or you are always there to help a child out that is in need. And I just love your giving hearts, and
thank you.
I'm grateful, truly grateful for your friendship and your mentorship as a businesswoman through all these years. And I'm going to cry, but I'm so grateful to spend this time with you
Thank
today.
you.
And I just wish you nothing but continued success in your 39th year and beyond, because you truly both deserve all the happiness in the world. world.
Thank you.
And I'm just so grateful that you have been here to really bless Midland, Texas, and make it a happy place for everyone. So
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is there anything in closing you did get to say? I always ask that at the end, that maybe you're like, oh, I wish I would have said that and didn't.
I just follow us on social media, pay attention to what we're doing, sign up to be a VIP because there's some
Yes.
awesome stuff going on.
Just come
But-
in.
and come in and
yeah.
experience and enjoy a warm cookie.
Well, very merry everything, happy
Yes,
everything,
yes.
and I wish you both the best in everything. And I want all of you to follow them. Go to the store, do it today. You will love what you see. I promise you. If it's your first time here, I also want to thank our sponsors before we wrap up. I know we're running out of time. I feel like there's like this. Don't forget to follow and support these local businesses: Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Then FR, JoinCapClub.com, and Midland Cap Company. Most importantly, I just want all of you to follow your dreams. Remember my mottos: dream big. It's right here behind you,
Yes,
Kathy, right
dream
there.
big.
Dream big. Believe. That's important. And never give up. These two ladies have never given up, and it shows, and you have both created something very beautiful in our community for it. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for yours. We wish you all the best. Don't forget, you make it a great day.